Hello, listeners. This is Lyn. Welcome to episode 21 of Privy So Live, your dose of insights and tips on information security, ICT legislation, and risk, brought to you by Privy So Consulting.
Hello, Lyn, and welcome, listeners. This is the first of a four-part series in which we discuss security-related aspects of data governance.
We are going to examine a specific sequence of activities. Because the sequence is important, we have created a mnemonic to help people remember.
Mnemonics can be helpful. They are simple phrases that help you remember things in sequence. In this instance, the mnemonic is, call home, let's discuss.
The C in the word call stands for classification.
While the H in home stands for handling,
L represents labeling.
and the D in discuss references data leakage prevention, or DLP.
That's the sequence then: classification, handling, labeling, and DLP. To remember the sequence, think of the phrase call home, let's discuss, and you have it.
My first experience with mnemonics was learning the lines on a stave of sheet music. The lines from low to high represent the notes E, G, B, D, F, and the way to remember them. Every good boy deserves favor.
Those eternal hours being made to practice at the piano. You enjoyed it though, didn't you?
I still do, but who gets the time to play?
Our lives are far too busy. However, let's talk about information classification.
We've all seen examples of it. Every time you see a file in the movies with a big secret stamp on the front, that's classification.
Absolutely, Stephen. Information classification is the process of organizing data based on its sensitivity, value, or importance to an organization. It is crucial for security, compliance, and operational efficiency. We can divide it into several levels, such as public, internal, confidential, and restricted. Think of it like this, Stephen. You wouldn't store your grandmother's precious recipe for apple pie in the same place you keep your tax returns, right? Information classification works on the same principle. We categorize data into different levels, like public, internal, confidential, and restricted or top secret.
Good analogy, Lyn. So, public information is anything that can be freely shared, like a company's website or press releases. Internal data is for employees only, like internal memos or project updates.
Then we have confidential information, which requires more protection. This could include customer data, financial records, or strategic plans. Unauthorized access to this data could cause significant harm.
And finally, restricted or top secret information is the most sensitive data. This could be anything from national security secrets to highly sensitive intellectual property. Access is strictly limited, and leaks can have devastating consequences.
Now, why is this so important? Well, information classification is the foundation of a strong data security strategy. It allows organizations to prioritize their security efforts and allocate resources effectively. You wouldn't want to spend the same amount of time and money protecting a publicly available document as you would safeguard your customer database.
Precisely. It also helps with regulatory compliance. Many industries have strict rules about handling certain types of data. Proper classification ensures you're meeting those requirements.
And let's not forget about data loss prevention. By knowing what data is sensitive, organizations can implement measures to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands.
But information classification isn't always straightforward. There are potential pitfalls we need to be aware of. One common issue is overclassification.
That's when everything gets labeled as top secret, including relatively harmless information. This can create a bureaucratic nightmare, making it difficult for employees to access the information they need to do their jobs.
Exactly. It can also lead to classification creep, where data sensitivity level gradually increases over time without proper review. Before you know it, everything is classified at the highest level, making it impossible to manage effectively.
Another pitfall is inconsistent classification. This happens when different people within an organization classify the same type of information differently. This creates confusion and makes it difficult to enforce security policies.
And of course, there is the risk of underclassification. This occurs when sensitive data is not classified properly, rendering it vulnerable to unauthorized access. Such an oversight can result in significant costs.
And with the rise of digital data, automation in classification has become both a solution and a problem. While it can help manage large volumes of data, automated systems can misclassify information if not properly trained or maintained.
Speaking of automation, there's the issue of data sprawl. Data ends up in so many places that maintaining consistent classification becomes nearly impossible without robust systems and policies.
So, how do organizations avoid these pitfalls? Well, clear and comprehensive classification policies are essential. These policies should define the different classification levels, the criteria for assigning those levels, and the procedures for handling classified information.
Regular training for employees is also crucial. Everyone needs to understand the importance of information classification and how to apply the policies correctly. Ongoing audits and reviews are essential to ensure the classification system works as intended.
Absolutely. Information classification is an ongoing process, not a one-time task. It needs to be regularly reviewed and updated to reflect changes in the organization's data and the evolving threat landscape.
Great points, Lyn. Information classification is a critical component of any data security strategy. Organizations can effectively protect their valuable information assets by understanding the different levels of classification, the potential pitfalls, and the best practices.
And if you do all of this well, you still have not secured your data.
Yes, this is merely the initial step, and you will still require a handling policy, labeling, and data leakage prevention, among other controls, before you can assert that.
But you have taken the first important step. That's it from us for this episode. If you want to hear more of the same, don't forget to subscribe or like our channel to receive future episodes. You can find us on all major podcast channels, including Apple, Samsung, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. As always, this is sponsored by Privy So Consulting, your partner when trust matters. Until next time, stay safe.